Hello people, fans. My name's Scott Cameron, aka Loose Cannon, or most people call me Canon. That's my ring name, stage name, whatever you want to call it. That's been my name for almost 3 decades. I got a couple of little stories I want to tell you about a fellow brother in the business, William the Freezer Thompson. I remember that time back in the day when me and Freezer first hooked up, locked up, as we say in the business. We were doing a show in Paragould, Arkansas. I believe it was Paragould, Arkansas. It was cold. We had the trailer and the vehicle parked inside the armory. Yes, we were in an armory. And of course, me and Freezer, as many times before, had classic matches. We went on the outside and we were brawling. And we got close to the trailer and I said, man, we're getting pretty close to danger right here. And Freezer says, backdrop me. I said, what? Backdrop me. Come again? Backdrop me on that trailer. I said, okay, here you go. And Bruiser's like a cruiserweight. Boom. Boom. Backdropped him on it. Needless to say, I can't remember how the outcome came. I don't know if it was just the match was thrown out or what. But that was another time we were in Corning, Arkansas. And I can't remember who I was wrestling. I can't remember who Freezer was wrestling. And we were going on about one of my old buddies, Steve Banks. Steve was my brother. Not my real life brother, but he was my brother. And Steve, God rest his soul, he wanted to do a gig. He wanted to slice his head, and I says, no, we're not doing that. And Steve was a little tipsy, we're not doing that. And Freezer came up to me and he said, whatever you do, Canon, do not let him have a blade. I said, I ain't letting him have nothing but a good talking to when he gets back to Steve Banks. And sure enough, here he comes. Man, you got a gig? I said, no, Steve, I don't have a gig. I asked Freezer. Freezer's always got him. Freezer ain't got him. I said, no, Freezer don't have him. Well, I'm on a gig. I said, why? Why do you want a gig? Freezer told you you don't need to. I said, Steve, don't do it. Sure up. Steve does it. And me and Freezer back there shaking our heads. Oh man, why did he do that? I mean, I don't know. I don't have a clue. And I remember this recently. It's been not too long ago. It's Show and Tuckerman. We wrestled in a 8-man tag. And Freezer, I mean, God bless him, his health is not very good right now. His legs are about to go underneath him. But he come in there just like it was another day to him, where he was walking straight or not, and got in the ring, and of course we all fed to him. And Freezer, he's got one heck of a hand. Whop! And I got out there with him, and I kept betting with him, and he kept popping me. I said, okay, that's enough. Going back to the ring. And Freezer Thompson to this business, to me, is somebody who could have made it all the way. Because back in the day, we didn't have no expression on what we looked like. If we were fat, if we were skinny, if we were tall, if we were small, build up muscle bound, whatever. Back in the day, if you could work, you had a job in the circuit, in the business. And Freezer Thompson made Memphis too, where people want to believe that Jerry Lawler did it, Bill Dundee did it, Hanson Judy did it. Freezer was there to make it happen too. He's wrestled numerous talent that's no longer around, that's went up to the top. He's wrestled The Undertaker, who went by Mark Ellis. back in the day. I mean, Freezer Thompson, to me, was there. He was always there for whoever needed him. Whether it was Lance Russell, Dave Brown, Jerry Jarrett, Randy Hales, Corey Macklin, he was there, always there for them to use to put over the guy across the ring from him. And that, to me, is the most respectable thing a person could do, was to make the other guy or gal look good. And Freezer did it every single time he climbed in that square circle. And that's what I remember about the most of Freezer Thompson. He didn't care. He was willing to do what it took. I'm the same way. But he was willing to do whatever it took to make the guy look good. And that's what I love about William the Freezer Thompson. He's dedicated his life. When he was in the wrestling ring, he did it all. And like I said, we can go back to the day of Jerry Lawler made it. I'm not saying he didn't, or Bill Dundee, or Handsome Jimmy. But Freezer Thompson was the other guy in the background that made Memphis Wrestling for what it is today. He took a beating all the time. He lost a lot of times. But William Freezer Thompson made it look great on TV or where he was locking up with a guy across the ring. He made it look good. And that's what I have 110% about William Freezer Thompson. Is he was there. He was dependable. He was honorable. He was loyal to that group. And people don't look at it that way. Well, this person, that person, they did it. They made it famous. Okay, I believe that too. But William Freezer Thompson also had his piece of the pie. Whether it was the smallest piece of the pie or the biggest piece of the pie. He always made sure that he was there on hand to do whatever the promotion needed him to do. Whether it was in Memphis or traveling around, Freezer Thompson did it all. And that's what I love Freezer Thompson about.